There. Hey guys, hopefully I am now live. I had a little bit of a camera setup situation, but I got it now. So thank you guys for joining me. There is a chat. I believe I can see Andrea is here in the chat. So today I'm going to go over any questions that you guys have. Feel free to drop them in the chat. And I'm also going to go over some various things about Q4 and then just a couple other random Amazon things that I have noticed. So yeah, feel free to drop a chat. So hey, Ashley. I'm going to just really quickly, I'll start it off with this. I have a giveaway as a thank you because I reached 50,000 subscribers last week, I think it was, or the week before. And so I just, as a thank you, I was saying as soon as I hit it, I'm going to do a giveaway. So I have a giveaway. You can sign up for it at yoursellingguide.com/giveaway. And I will go, I'm going to read what it is that I'm giving away in a second, but it also will tell you there. So we've got Connie from Chicago, Tony's here, Lindsay from South Carolina, Morgan, Diane. Hi, Stephen from California. I recognize your name. Maddie, Prima, Tiffany. Thank you guys. It's really exciting because I never thought I was going to get to, first of all, 1,000, then to 10,000. So this is just really exciting. So the giveaway is I'm giving away to one winner $1,000 PayPal cash, a wireless Rollo printer, or you can have the wired one. It'll really be up to you. My wireless one had an issue about a month ago, and I luckily still had my wired one, so I was using that. But anyways, just be warned. But if you want the wireless one, I'm giving that away. The beginner FBA Amazon selling course, the mega Ungating bundle, which is all of my guides, and then a 50, and then a $500 Amazon gift card. So that's for one winner, and then 5 runners up will win the beginner FBA selling course and $200 PayPal cash. So $200 PayPal cash plus the beginner FBA course. And again, that is at yoursellingguide.com/giveaway where you can sign up. The /giveaway has to be all lower caps, something I learned about website. My redirects, it has to be case sensitive. So you can sign up there. I will be picking the winner. Oh, that's why I dropped myself the link so I can remember. I think it closes on the 27th of this month, and I'll be picking the winner on the 28th. So good luck with that. It's just you're signing up for my email newsletter. So first name, last name, and email. And if you're already on it, you're already on it. But you still do have to sign up there. Okay, I'm going to scroll through the chats, but if you're just joining us, welcome. I'm going to go over some Q4 things to know and be aware of as we are rolling into it. If your sales are still kind of slow at the moment, that's pretty normal. They should start picking up next week, the week after, especially if you have Halloween stuff in stock. Really quickly, just talking about seasonal things because this came up in a couple of the groups today. If you have a seasonal item, so right now it would be Halloween, but if you have Thanksgiving or Christmas items coming up, they are really hot in the beginning. Like you can get good profit in the very beginning when you first saw them at Walmart or wherever you saw them. Then as everyone else, all the other sellers start to get them, the price is going to go down. And then as those sellers sell out, it will come back up right around the holiday. So it's really either you're going to get it and flip it fast. And when I say flip it fast, I don't mean that you have to drop your price and lower your price by a penny. No, flip it fast in the beginning for the good profit that you want. Keep your prices high. But as everyone else starts to go and lower the price will come down. So you have to play the long game at that point. And things will still sell. If Amazon can get it to the customer in time, if it's FBA, if it's FBM, if you can get it to the customer in time, then they will still sell for that higher price. Because even like yard decorations, people do wait till last minute to decorate. Halloween costumes, they wait till last minute. So if you're doing Halloween at this point, you would need to be doing FBM. But just something to know about any seasonal thing. Okay, I'm going through the chat. Diane from Pennsylvania. Tiffany, hi Tiffany. from California, another California, another Tiffany. Tiffany asked, do I do private coaching? I don't do private coaching because I just don't have the time. But I do, like, the closest thing would be either any of my groups. So if you want to do the beginner course, that's like a small group of people, and I'm in there all the time answering questions there. If you're in the Bolo group, you also get leads, but you also can ask any questions, not only of me, because I don't know everything, right? So it's a lot of awesome sellers in there who can answer your questions, and you can get a lot of different perspectives. Speaking of the Rolo, so I believe it was the beginner group, someone was just asking about inventory lab and do you need a Rolo for that? And one person said that they don't actually like thermal printers, and then I'm like, okay, I have that issue with the wireless, but I really do like thermal printers. So you kind of get a variety of information, not just one person's, because what works for me might not work for you. The way I sell might not be the way that you want to sell. So that would be the closest thing. Mira asked, post the link. So it's yoursellingguide.com/giveaway. I will, let me see if I can do this. On the Facebook Hangouts, if I ever comment in the chat, it like pauses my ability to see the chat. I don't know if I have to do the www for that to work, but that is the link. It'll redirect you to a Google Sheet form thing. Hi, Brian. Elizabeth from California. Nadine from Jamaica. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I should say, James from Massachusetts. I should say that the giveaway is all USD and US seller specific. So while some things may or may not work for you, or if you want the PayPal cash, it'll be in USD. So that's just to know. Okay, Dawn from Michigan. North Carolina. Leondius, hi. Okay, so now I'm going to scroll back to, there was a couple questions. Do you recommend submitting a retail invoices if Amazon asks for IP? So the IPs are always changing. So I got one, I think it was 2 weeks ago now, for Pokemon, which is really weird. I've sold a lot of Pokemon. Also, I've gotten a lot of toy compliance for Pokemon, so I'm just kind of done with that brand after the IP. I don't know that it said it was for Pokemon, but I don't know because I've never had an issue in the past. But between the toy compliance and the IP, I'm pretty much done with it. But you can submit if it asks you, if it gives you a way to submit, like you could submit a Walmart receipt, or even if it's not itemized, if it's from Ross and it doesn't say what it is, you can go ahead and I have a video on it. I make a Google slide doc. It's like a Google's PowerPoint. And you can put your receipt in there and like draw a line. This is the ASIN, and that will work. But here's what's happening. So the one I got for Pokemon 2 weeks ago, it actually, all I had to do was select a bunch of dots, like check marks, like blah, 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 check. And it came off 2 days later. Like it's not even in my account anymore. Whereas when you do the POA, when that's the option, I don't know if they're changing it or if it's for specific ones. I have no idea why they look different. But if I had submit a POA with invoices, they'll be like, okay, you can't sell it and it'll come off your account in 180 days. And that is the best case scenario. Like that's what you want. But it will still be on your account for those 180 days. It's not like against you in any way, but it's still there. So it was really crazy that I was like, ... and it just went away. So if that's how they're moving, that's awesome. I didn't have to submit any receipts because that's all it was. Like I was going to, because this Pokemon item I happened to have gotten from a distributor. So I have all that information, but it was just really weird. So that is a good thing, I guess, if that's the way they're going. But if you do submit any POA, plan of action, with you can submit your invoice or receipt, store receipt, whatever you have with it, definitely. Kaisha says, I'm trying to start sourcing at the beginning of next year. Do you think it's a good time to start? Yes. anytime is the perfect time to start. If you can start now, start now. If you have to wait till the new year, just wait till the new year. Anytime is a good time to start because it is going to take you a while to get going, to get the hang of it, to understand it. It literally is like learning a new language. Like I've just been saying all these acronyms and you might have no idea what I'm talking about. So you kind of have to learn all that different stuff. I try to say it, but it's just so normal to me, like a different language, that I just say it, don't even realize that you might not know what I'm talking about. So whenever you can start, just start. January actually is still really high sales volume. Like I always do. Sometimes I do just as good as December, which is usually my highest month of the year. And sometimes I do just as good as November, which is my second highest. So January is a great month. So keep sending all your inventory in because it'll sell through January as people are buying what they didn't get for Christmas or they're using their gift cards or whatever the reason. It's still a really great sales time as long as you have the inventory. There's been a couple years, including last year, where I took 2 weeks off at the end of December, and then we hit the road to go to the Tampa RV show in January. So I wasn't really sourcing, and so my sales really dropped off that year. But the year before, my January was just as good as December. So it's all a matter of if you have inventory. Chris asks, is there a way to have Amazon prep when creating a batch through Inventory Lab? Probably there is, because I think you say that you're going to prep it, like in that beginner screen. If someone else knows for sure, please feel free. Tiffany asks, what is your, I think maybe I can click, let's see. Hey, it works. What is your opinion on forming an LLC before you sell? Is it necessary? It is not necessary. It's a personal preference. So if you have a single member LLC, it's the same as it all passes through to you. So you're the only member. And on the Amazon side, they actually won't even take it. They'll still require your social security number because it does pass through right to you. If you happen to have a partnership, then you can go that way, but you don't have to have it to start and you can change it at any time. If you do change it, if you go from professional or individual or you change your business entity, they might send you now, they didn't in the past, but they might send you another like address verification thing to make sure it's still you. But you can change it at any time. I started as a sole proprietor. I got an LLC my second year. It was not necessary. It actually created more of a headache for me because I'm not all into that like taxes and paperwork stuff. Now I have someone doing it for me, but at the time I was using TurboTax. And so it's just like you have to file something with the state every year. And it's like, it's not hard, but it's just more that you have to do. So it does, an LLC offers you a little more protections should something happen, but it's up to you. It's your personal preference. Hi, Juan from NYC. Tiffany asks, what's the difference between the Q4 Bolo group, which is now closed, and the regular Bolo group? So the fact that it's closed, like there's not going to be any new members coming, it creates a little bit of like a trust bubble or whatever. And we have these hangouts, like, so I'm doing the YouTube live, but we have hangouts there. I have one tomorrow and we'll be on a Zoom call and we can all chat to each other. If I could do it that way with you guys, I'd much rather like physically like talk to you on the screen than just me sitting here rambling. But that's one of the things that it has. But other than that, it's like the Bolo requirements are the same. The group has like just the same great leads. Occasionally it actually, I don't know that there's any of the same people in the group, but occasionally the leads are shared across both. If you are in the regular Bolo group, after 3 months, I think I talked about this another time, I have another secret speakeasy type group, which is it's a small group, 100 sellers. There's not 100 right now, but whenever we reach 100, that's as big as it'll get. And we do the live calls there as well. So it's like after 3 months in the regular Bolo group, if you've, shared a lead on time and it's, been a lead, like fits the requirements for 3 months, then you are invited to join that one. And then it's kind of like the Q4 group all year long, where we have these same leads, or not the same leads, same like Bolo sharing requirements, but then there is also the hangouts, which I just think is really great because someone said this in one of my groups, but like literally networking with other Amazon sellers is the best thing you can do for your business. And it might not seem like it, but you learn so many things that you probably otherwise wouldn't have just by talking to other sellers. So it's really awesome. And that's one reason why I'm always like talking about my communities, because if you can talk to other sellers, it's going to help you a lot in growing your business. Ryan, I have heard, so Brian says, all of my items are buy box eligible except for one. A friend tells me the same thing. She is eligible, same price. I a couple of times and I don't actually know. I've heard some of it for FBM sellers and some of it for FBA, and I don't have any idea why, unfortunately. I don't even know if you would ask Amazon if they'd hopefully be able to tell you. I think as a SoCal girl, I don't know. That's where my mind goes because he's in California. She's in both and she loves them. Oh, I have to show that one. Kimberly asks, what does it mean when there's not retaking quest at this time? And then there is a link to apply here. So normally, like LOL dolls, it says it's not taking requests for Ungating to apply to sell it. And there's like literally nothing there. You can't apply. If it says you request apply, I would just do it and see what it says. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to go through a couple of my Q4 things and I'll jump back into the chat. So, the main thing to know is when to stop shipping stuff. I'm starting to sweat. Stop shipping stuff into Amazon. So, like I said, like it's already too late, obviously, to FBA Halloween stuff because it's not going to get to Amazon nor get to the customer. So, Thanksgiving, you probably have. Don't sleep on Thanksgiving. It's a great time to sell. There's good stuff for that. Mostly just kitchen stuff, right? Baking type stuff. I like that the week of October 24th, possibly, yeah, I'd probably say that is the last kind of week to send any Thanksgiving stuff in. And then also by Thanksgiving, not just the holiday, but anything that you want to have in your inventory for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, you need to get in by that last week. So October 24th, that whole week. I think if you send it in, if you get it to the UPS store by like that Friday, you're probably good. Anything like you want as much stuff as you can, because what happens is why you also want to FBM stuff over that Black Friday, Cyber Monday, is that Amazon will sell out of stuff like hot items, whatever it happens to be, their stock's going to sell out. And sometimes now they will like pre-sell it, but they're going to give that buy box to other sellers who have the inventory. And so that's where you can make really high profits. And the also great thing about selling over that time frame is that customers are most likely buying as gifts. And so you probably won't get a lot of returns from that stuff. So that's one thing. So the last week of this month, October, you want to get everything in that you plan to have in for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I don't really do anything special for that. Like you could do promos if you want. I just am selling stuff that sells anyway, so I don't do any of that stuff. And then keep sending in stuff because it's going to sell all through that holiday buying, all through December. Any Christmas specific stuff, probably that week of before Thanksgiving, so the Wednesday the 23rd, you want to have all of your Christmas stuff, like holiday specific stuff. If you're sending FBA, you want to have all of that sent in, because after that, you're cutting it too close. If you have a warehouse that is fast and that your stuff doesn't transfer around a lot, you could keep sending it. You could take that risk. Like holiday candies are probably fine. They'll probably still sell past Christmas, the holiday. So that's not as big of a thing. Toys sell year round. All the time people ask, when do you stop selling toys? Never. Send toys in. They sell year round. They'll sell in January. So don't worry about that. And then also, like I mentioned, you probably won't get a lot of returns, but they will, it's like, what do we call it? Return your wary. January, you're going to get a lot of returns. I am getting returns now. It's like normal. You get returns year round, but they won't be as many as you might anticipate or think you might get in December, but they will come in January. And if they don't come to you, you are lucky because it comes every year. If you wonder what happens to your returns, I have a returns 101. I think you could be able to search on my channel that video that explains what happens for all the various like different scenarios where you might get a return. One other thing about Black Friday, Cyber Monday that I wanted to talk about is your FBM templates. So hopefully you are already FBMing. If you're not, just give it a shot. But you can change for that holiday weekend because you could change your handling time to like 0, so same day, or 1, and that's gonna help you get box more. You can change your template at any time, your handling time at any time. So that might be something to look at as long as you can meet those fulfillments, right? So if something sells today before 2, or tomorrow before 2, I'm gonna get it out same day is what you're promising. I do not do any second day or overnight. I only do expedited, which is second day, but I'm not saying that it's second day because that's where you can get in a lot of trouble and cost you a lot of money if you didn't do your template right. But messing around with your handling time on your FBM template can really like help you win that buy box because it'll tell the customer it's going to get to them sooner over another seller, and so Amazon will offer you up. And if you're not already, just plan to be exhausted after Q4 because it is exhausting. Mike asked, any tips on saving money on supplies like boxes? If you can buy in bulk, I don't do a lot of it, obviously, because I'm in the RV and so I don't have room to store them. But like, I know Uline, the Boxery, and then I Love Supplies is what I haven't ordered from them yet, but they do poly bags and everyone really loves them. Let's see. Stephen says, I've been receiving numerous form requests from Amazon regarding what the products are made of. I would go to the brands, or if it's sold on Target or Walmart or some other website, and see if it says it there. Sometimes it has a drop down that you can pick from as far as Amazon. Plaid says, just started about 2 months ago. Congratulations. Any tips, tricks on keeping going scanning? I get about 2 hours into scanning and stop because I feel like people are staring or getting discouraged. So people are probably not staring at you, or we always think like more of ourselves, right? So like I might think, oh, everyone's looking at me, but they're really not even probably noticing I'm there. Getting discouraged is a whole nother thing. So I went 2 days sourcing last week, and the first day I did good, and the second day I did good the first day because I filled up my truck. I went to the first Walmart and the second day got like 2 things or something after like an hour and a half of scanning, and then I went to Big Lots and got nothing, and that was like an hour and a half of scanning, and so it gets really discouraging. But then I went to Ollie's and I got 2 carts at Ollie's, and then I got a cart full at Tuesday morning. So whenever I see it happening where I'm like, okay, this was a bust, I just go to another store, or I just like, you might just call it a day that day and go out another day, because for me, I notice that I'm done with the day when I start looking at Tuesday morning, or not Tuesday morning, TJ Maxx, and I'm like shopping for myself. I'm like, okay, it's time to call it. Like I know that the day is over when I'm just not into it anymore. It is really frustrating when you get started. I go all day. I like make it an all day thing. So I'm sometimes like 14, 16 hours, including the drive time, but it can be exhausting. Tiffany says, I'm saving money to quit my job to learn Amazon. I'm planning to have 8 months of savings first. I think that's good. Whatever you need to feel comfortable. When I started, I had no job, and I don't recommend that. I recommend starting with a job, but I just didn't know about it at the time. And I had no job, and I had 6 months of savings, and I had to use some of that savings to actually start selling on Amazon. So whatever is working for you, I would actually sell while you have your job so you can learn it because it'll be 4 to 6 weeks before you ever get a payout. Like, and the first couple payouts might be like $50. So it takes time to build that up. So having the job is definitely helpful. Oh, hey, Mike. Mike says to save money on boxes, get a UPS account. Oh, yes. Okay, so whoops, I did the wrong one. I have had the worst luck trying to open my UPS account, but I do know that you can get free boxes from UPS once you have an account. But I have to get back on starting that. Also, if you want to use the flat rate, like I have a bunch of flat rate envelopes from the post office, you can get those for free. You can get labels. You know, UPS is a great. Thank you, Mike. I totally forgot about that. Pam asks, can you use plain boxes from Walmart when sending FBM? I have been heard about drop shipping complaints. Yeah, I use the plain ones, even though they say Walmart on them at the bottom. It's totally fine. And one time in a pinch, I had to use actually one that had like it's the green, the small Walmart box because my item was a little bit bigger. It wasn't great, but I did it. I think it's like you don't want to reuse like Amazon boxes. You want it to be clean and nice and new. So whatever that looks like, it's a brand new one from Walmart, that's fine, but don't reuse the one with like the Walmart tape if you ordered something from Walmart. You can use those boxes, the Walmart, the Amazon, reuse all those. Like I ordered something from Target last week and I'm about to just all I did was open it, stick my labels on, and tape it back up and it's headed to FBA. But you wouldn't use that for FBM. You can use staples if you have those. Bluegrass profits. How many battery packs do you have to keep your phone charged? So I charge while I'm driving, and when it hits like when all the stores are in one shopping center is when my phone really starts to die, and I have two battery packs, but I only ever end up using one. I have the one that like the iPhone and it'll stick to the back, and then I also have another one in my purse that's like a little Belkin battery bank. But I don't actually have to use them all that much because of the drive time in between stores. And then I use Wi-Fi whenever possible to help save my battery. I turn off my Bluetooth when I'm done driving like long because I use it to listen to like podcasts on my drive. But then after that, I turn it off because that also helps. Um, Jill asked, is Jungle Scout good for FBM? So I only ever use Jungle Scout, junglescout.com/estimator, that free rank tool that'll tell you like this rank in this category will sell this amount a month. Other than that, I don't use it. So like I don't have a paid account. I don't actually use it. And they funny. They reached out to me to be an affiliate, and I was like, okay, well I do RA. Like how is that going to help other RA sellers? And they didn't really tell me anything. So I still don't know why I would tell you guys to get it because that I know of, it doesn't help anything. You don't need it for retail arbitrage. So I don't know how. So I guess all that to say that I do know that they have like if you're doing private label or like product research, it has a ton of stuff for that. But since I don't do that, like I don't need that. Hustlin asked, hey, with FBM, do you add a packing slip in each or just pack them and ship it out? So funny you should ask this. I did not even know that a packing slip was an option until recently. And I only learned that because someone was asking about when, how I create my SKUs, as I say, WM, Walmart, the price, BE, break even, and then whatever that break even price is. That's how I make my SKUs. And then someone was like, oh, well, watch out because the customers will see that. And I was like, how? It's on the packing list. So if you happen to do FBM and you make a SKU, make sure it doesn't say super clearly, I got this at Walmart for $5 and you're paying 50, you know? So just make sure that. But all that to say that I never did the packing list. I didn't even know it was an option until that whole thing came up. And then I was like, oh, so then I started to print the packing list. Why not? And so I do print them now sometimes. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. So um, I never gotten in any trouble for not doing it, but I also don't see why it would hurt. Just kind of makes it more professional. Uh, so if you are just joining or missed the beginning, thank you guys for helping me reach 50,000 YouTube subscribers. So I have a giveaway. It's yoursellingguide.com/giveaway, all lowercase giveaway, and you sign up to win. I'm giving it away. I'm picking the winner on October 28th. The one lucky winner will win $1,000 PayPal cash, a wireless Rollo printer, the beginner FBA Amazon selling course, the mega Ungating bundle, which is all of my Ungating guides and the retail arbitrage guide to Q4, and $500 Amazon gift card, and then I'm going to say this slower. 5 runners up. So one winner wins all that. 5 runners up will win $200 PayPal cash and the beginner FBA Amazon selling course. So again, it's yoursellingguide.com/giveaway, and you enter your name, email address, where you first heard about me, because I just like to know where everyone's coming from, and you'll be entered to win. Liz asked, do you use Seller Amp? I started to, and I know that a lot of sellers like it. So if you like it and you use it, great. Like whatever works for you. To me, all it is another scanning app. And since I already know how to scan using the Amazon app and looking up, researching stuff on Keepa if I need to, like, I'm kind of good. I do use it sometimes when I want to know how many a seller has, like in store. So far, that's the only difference that I use it for. Like if I want to know how many a seller, like how many of these sellers have of this item while I'm outsourcing, because when I get home, I can look at it with Keepa on my Chrome extension on my Amazon page. So when I get home, it's fine. But when I'm outsourcing, it is kind of nice. I occasionally pull it up. I don't use it all that much. I do know that many sellers in my community love it. So I think it's kind of one of those things where whatever works for you is great. If you use it, great. If you don't use it, if you know what you're doing this way, you don't necessarily need it. It pulls in, it tells you how many people have. It has a lot of information on it. It's not as slow as BuyBot Go was. Like there's no way I could have used that because it just, the processing time is so slow. But it is sometimes really slow and glitchy to the point where I was going to try and use it. And I was like, you know what, screw this. And I just went back into the seller app. So I sometimes use it. If you use the seller app, can you show which app it is? It's just called Amazon Seller. It's like a black, it's never changed. So it's a black thing with like a white Amazon little tag. So if you search Amazon Seller app in your app store, it should come up. Becky says she doesn't do packing slips anymore. Hey, Becky. Miro asked, what do I use for OA tactical arbitrage? And I learned, so in one of the groups, we did a online arbitrage specific hangout, and I learned that I still don't know what I'm doing with tactical arbitrage. I know how to use it. I can run searches, but I can just tell that I'm just scratching the surface on everything. If you guys watched my video where I used it, I'm sure you guys are like, wow, she's doing this totally wrong. So it's helpful if you're like me and learning, but there's like a ton to learn there. I only started using it this year when I broke my leg. So before that, I would just like, because I didn't do a whole lot of online arbitrage, I would do it like I am just replanning stuff. So I got stuff at Target. I want to see if I can get more stuff at Target. And I just scan the same way, like with my phone. I'll just put my phone up to the laptop, search the product that way, or type it in, or have another screen opened that's on Amazon, copy the title, search that way. So if there's, because tactical arbitrage is not cheap, and if you are going to get it, they gave me an extended link. So it should be in the description of this hangout or video live, but you get like 10 days instead of 7 days. However, like, you have to be dedicated to learning it, because like I said, I'm doing it kind of in my spare time. Like, I'm not dedicated to doing it, and it's a lot of money to put into something if you're not really going to use it. But it can be a really helpful tool to find stuff. Petonius, so the paid version of Keepa does show sellers' quantities. Yes, I don't know in the app that it does. It may, and I just don't know how to do it. But when you have the Chrome extension and you have the paid, it'll pop up on Amazon. It'll even tell you how many Amazon has. So there's a couple items that Amazon has popped on the listing with me, and they have 27. So fine, you're gonna sell it really fast. I don't really care. When it says they have 1,000 plus, then it's a little scary. But the paid, when you have the Chrome extension, it will tell you that. Lauren. So Lauren asked if I have any advice on how to budget when you're starting. How much of your profit to reinvest in inventory? I would recommend, whatever your budget is, pick a budget that is good for you. Like, especially if you're kind of on the fence about this, you don't want to go into debt, right? And I went into it knowing 100% like it was this or nothing. Like, I was going to make it work. I'd seen that it works for people, so I knew I could do it. So I was all in. That said, I wasn't going to dump all my 6 months of savings into it. So initially, I started $750 cash into the business, including supplies. And then I had bought a training. I think it was like $300 for the training. So I had all of that invested in it. And then I used that money probably within the first couple of weeks of sourcing, or I should say when I actually started buying stuff, because I did go sourcing for like a month before I ever bought anything. And then I saw that it was working, but I needed more inventory to keep this snowball going. So I pulled out another, I think it was $750 to $1,000 to invest into more inventory. I also started in August, so it was like right into Q4 when all of this was kind of taking off. I was not going to dump any more money into it. So if you have whatever your fixed budget is, just know that if it is a budget that is smaller, it's going to take you longer. That does not mean that you cannot do it. You can do it. You just can't get those massive numbers, right? You might not be able to pull $10,000, $50,000 in sales because you don't have the inventory budget to do that. So you have to keep it in perspective of what you want and what you can do. So I am not a large seller. There are sellers in my own community who do like way more than me. And that's awesome because they do this full time. I've only ever done it part time, only ever wanted to do it part time. And so it's all different. So I'm like looking at their numbers going, wow, that's amazing. But I'm not saying, oh, I'm not good because I can't do those numbers. I could do those numbers if I still wanted to, but my lifestyle choices and what I want to do is where I'm at. So they have to keep that in mind when you're out there, so you don't get lost in this like comparison or they're better than you or whatever. You got to find your why of you're doing it, what you can actually do. If you have a full-time job and you're doing this on part-time, you don't have the time to do it, right? So you can make the time and do it, but you don't have the full-time hours that other people might have. So I just always like to keep that in perspective of what you can actually do for you, what you want out of this business. If you want to pay off a loan or a car or whatever that is, and that's what you're doing it for, it's going to look a lot different than someone who's trying to do this for their income. Plus they want their husband, wife, whatever to also quit, and they all do it. Everyone's business is different. And that's why I love talking to other sellers, but also selling on Amazon, because it can be whatever you want it to be. I highly recommend rolling over all of your profits into more inventory, keeping that inventory flow going, creating that snowball. I didn't pull out anything until November, so I started in late August. Like November, I pulled back, paid my initial 2000 or so back that I had initially spent. And then like it's like January 1st technically, but I say it was like my last December payout is when I actually pulled a profit out because it was Q4 and I was making a lot of money. And so I was able to pull that out and then keep money in still. Even knowing when to pull out money is hard because it's totally up to you. So, but as long as you can keep whatever you can put into it in the business, you're going to get your ball going more than if you have to pull something out. I have gotten emails that people want, like, they're kind of like sad stories, right? They want to do this, but they have to pay their bills. And I'm like, don't do this. Go get a 9 to 5 job to pay your bills because this is going to take a long time to build to be able to actually do that. And so you have to take care of what you need to take care of. And then you could do this on the side and learn it and grow it. But yeah, just keeping in perspective what you want out of it, what you can do, and what you can put into it because you might not be able to put in what you want to, but you can grow to that. Becky said for the Keep It app, if it shows, so it shows quantities when you look at the offers tab of what the sellers have. Again, the paid one. How often would you say Amazon loses part of your shipment? Like there's a couple of times where they'll be like, you were supposed to send in 4 and you sent 3. That might happen. It's maybe like once or twice a year they'll lose entire boxes, which is super frustrating. And you just send in your receipts, even if they are not itemized. You can send them in to get reimbursed for it. But I not super often. I mean, it just one time sucks, but uh, how do you compete with seasoned sellers as a brand new seller? I don't think of myself as competing with any other sellers. I when I buy it, whatever that price is, like you're competing for the buy box, but that does not by any means mean to lower the price. Please don't lower the price. We're going to start a movement, everyone, where we're not lowering the price. Um, but I'm just like I I buy stuff that sells anyway, so I don't have to advertise it. It's already got good ranks. It's gonna sell itself because customers are already on Amazon looking to buy it. How do you know that is by the rank. So I really don't think of myself as competing like with them, if that makes sense. I don't know that that made a whole lot of sense, but as a brand new seller, like there's no reason that someone else is going to win the buy box over you if all of your things are equal. You have like find account matrix, you haven't sent any FBM orders late, your item is in stock. I think what people are making a mistake of is when your items are in FC transfer moving around, there's a date on that, right? Like a customer is going to say, hey, I can get this November 5th, or I can buy from this other seller whose stock is available, ready to ship right now, and get it this weekend. So if you stuff is FC transfer and you're trying to lower the price to win the buy box, you're just doing yourself a disservice because you're never going to win it because that other seller has it in stock. So there's a lot of different things that go into why you would win the buy box over someone else. I also did a video recently on that because it's just driving me crazy. There's like this weird, and I'm sorry, I know I filmed a video where I go into this whole rant about this also, if I don't cut it out. But there's like this whole thing where sellers they tend to be FBM sellers for whatever reason, and they all say just launched and they're all lowering the price. I have an item that I have sold, it's been my top item for 3 years, if not 4 years, and already people are tanking the price, and it's so frustrating knowing this thing sells. Like it sells great. It sells for a lot of money. It's like almost 200% ROI on a $5 item, and already people are taking the price. So it's getting really frustrating. So that's why I need all of y'all to keep helping one, not lower the price, and just shout it from the rooftop. Tell your Amazon seller friends, like, stop lowering the price. You don't have to. Call them out. I do it to my Amazon friends all the time. Call them out, like, hey, raise your price. Like, what are you doing? Because you don't want to be the one who is causing that to happen. Okay, Rob says DFW6 has lost 3 boxes. So I have heard this in the group. I don't know if you're also in the group about that warehouse. So I didn't even know there was 2 Dallas warehouses. And so that one is slow and losing boxes, but for whatever reason, mine are going to I think it's like DF1 or something. So I have luckily not had that happen. But that is one good thing. So I always use this example because I think it was my first or second year. I don't even think it's a warehouse anymore, but it was the Baltimore warehouse. It was slow to the point where if you saw that come up, you were like, no. And it was in the groups that we all knew about this. So it is helpful to know. Unfortunately, there's not, besides like just deciding not to send in that shipment, there's not a lot of things you can do. If Amazon says that's where it's got to go, it's where it's got to go. But if you know warehouse is slow, then you can kind of plan for that. Like, you know that this is not going to work out in your favor. So just know that if you have to send a DFW6, it is a known warehouse to be slow and unfortunately losing boxes. Oh, he said it's the oversized warehouse. So mine, I have a shipment right now. It's going to Colorado. And then where did my last oversized go? Can't remember. But that's frustrating. Mara asked, do you have any suggestions on which brands to get ungated in first? I always recommend whatever you see out there. So I got ungated when I was getting toys, and it was like you have to place. Oh no, it didn't have a minimum order. I was just trying to ungate a bunch of toys. I did Melissa and Doug, and asked me how many Melissa and Doug things I have sold. Literally just one that I got this year. So I ungated that, I don't know, 4 years ago, and I just now got something. Why I did it, I have no idea. Because I recommend if you're scanning a bunch of Lego or Marvel and you see that it has profit, then that should be the brand that you want to get ungated in. If you're scanning a lot of grocery and you're gated in grocery, I don't know at the moment if grocery is ungated or not. It goes off and on. If you're scanning a lot of health and beauty items, but you're gated in them, then those should be what you want to go after instead of just waste. It's not a waste of money, except for if you don't ever buy something by that brand, it was kind of a waste. So I recently got ungated in Squishmallows. Almost all of them are being, not the ones that I got ungated with, but all the ones I bought at retail arbitrage because of the toy compliance. They keep getting taken down, and so they're all coming back to me. So I'm gonna have to figure out where else to sell them. So it's just like, that was kind of a waste, right? Like I can't even sell them now because of the whole, I got the documents with the distributor that I used for the ones I got, but I don't have those documents, even though I tried to supply them for the other Squishmallows that I got at retail arbitrage. So it just, at the end of the day, it's kind of a waste. So whatever you are scanning. Let's scroll through. Other random Amazon things. If you didn't know, your stranded inventory moved. So where stranded inventory used to show up on the Amazon, I'm sure you've noticed that Amazon's changing the way their dashboard looks again. I don't know why, but so it used to show up as a blue tab at the top. It still has unfulfillable, but they've moved stranded. I went in there today. There's so many, all those toy compliance ones that got pulled, and a lot of other just like inventory. There are so many stranded things that you can now no longer see. So you have to go in your manage inventory. You go to inventory, dashboard, then inventory again. There's another tab at the top, and then there's a stranded inventory. So make sure you're checking it because it's not as readily available. Why they moved that one is so confusing because still price alerts is on the other one. Unfulfillable still on the other one. So I have no idea. It's just really annoying, but just a reminder to check it now that it is moved. Hey, Big Sam, this is live. Any other questions? I'm going to scroll through and see if I missed any. Kimberly asked if I purchase Burt's Bees from a wholesaler, do I get ungated in Burt's Bees only? There's no way to tell unless you're in your thing. So you want to in your system, you want to find that listing on Amazon before you buy anything. Find the listing on Amazon to make sure it can ungate you, because a lot of times, sometimes you might already be ungated and not know it, or you might get auto gated. So go ahead and try to do it. And on there, it'll tell you, it'll list out like you need to get ungated for Burt's Bees, or it'll say you need to ungated for grocery, baby plus Burt's Bees. It'll tell you, there'll be like a little list there of what you need to get ungated for. And that is what you'll be ungated with that item purchase. Oh, Bluegrass said, if Amazon says they only show 27 stock, it's because you can only buy 27 of them. Well, I'm just going to pretend that they only have 27. Makes me feel better. Haley, if I purchased from a wholesaler, I got ungated in Bob's, but not groceries. It could be that you are already ungated in grocery. I don't know. I honestly don't know right now if sellers are already ungated for grocery or not. I would honestly just go through your house and scan stuff in your pantry and see if it's telling you can sell it or not, or if you need to sell it, if you need to get ungated for grocery. Terry, how long do you leave your products you no longer sell in your inventory? So I am sure you guys keep getting these emails from Amazon that they're no longer, I think it's 6 months. That if your product hasn't sold in 6 months, they're just going to pull it and send it back to you at this point. They didn't used to do that. If you've sold one in 6 months, I don't think they will, because you've sold one. But I usually around the 90-day mark, either at 90 days or slightly before or slightly after, I will start to price to move that stuff if it really isn't selling. When I did that grocery outlet trip to Oregon in April, I got these pans that I don't know, and one must have just sold. The rank was all right when I bought it. That, or I wasn't paying attention to the number closely. But anyways, they never sold. And so now I will be having donut pans to give out to friends and family for the holidays, because I had to ask for them all back because apparently they hadn't sold in 6 months. And I was dropping prices. I was going to lose price because I'd rather just get rid of them at Amazon's level than ask for them back. But at the end of the day, I was like, well, I might actually bake with this. So I asked for it back. But yeah, after that, I particularly like to price to move just to get rid of it and not have to deal with it coming back to me. But you can also liquidate through Amazon now for a bunch of stuff, or you can just ask for it back through a removal order. And I think at the moment they are 50 cents an item to get sent back. Some oversized items do cost more. Lorenzo asks, which cosmetics are instant IP? From Ross, TJ Maxx. Lucetta, I think that's how I've shown it all the time. They are an instant IP. I can't tell you how many times on a video someone's like, oh, I didn't see this, and I just got one from them. So they are everywhere. I've seen them at Ross, TJ Maxx. I have not seen them at Ollie's. And First Aid Beauty. I'm trying to think of, I know there's a bunch of them. FAO Schwartz, Discovery Kids, Sharper Image, those are all IP. I don't know why they're not just blocked. If I think of any more, I will. How do you ship hazmat items like hairspray? So I don't do hairspray because that's a clear aerosol. Um, Amazon also sent out an email, I think within the last month, that I mean, you've always been responsible, but now they're like saying, no, you really are. Like, we're taking no responsibility on FBM hazmat, any kind of hazmat, even if it's FBA sending in, it has to be labeled correctly. I honestly would ask aerosols have to go ground. So if you're going to do it post office, you would do it first class. If it's too heavy, you might have to go through UPS ground to do it. But I would honestly talk to your person at your post office or the UPS store to know like what the best way to do it is. Obviously, before you sell it FBM, because you only have a certain amount of days now to figure it out. But that's what I would do. I sold chlorine 2 years ago. I just sent it all ground. So I'm not a FBM nor hazmat expert, so I would recommend talking to the people who do this day in and day out at the post office or FedEx or wherever you want to use it. Terry asks, I need to clean out old listing. How do you leave old listings in your inventory? So I never used to delete my listings. I would just leave them because like a year later I might find it and replen it. But I started to get the toy compliance, even though now I get them, even though I've deleted the products, I started to get IPs for old things that I didn't have anymore. So then I started to delete them. My rule of thumb on when I delete them is after the return period has ended. I think it starts October 14th or 15th. The return period will be all the way till January 31st. So you could wait till then. If you want to delete them, you can. All that's going to happen is, should you get a return, the item will go to stranded because it doesn't have a listing because you've deleted it. You can easily relist from there, but my rule of thumb is usually 60 days after 60 days after I last sold it. So after that return period has ended. Oh yeah, Super Goop. I got there. There's like a bunch of random ones I've gotten. Like cease and desist, like the Super Goop one that wasn't through Amazon. It came in the mail. Anytime they come in the mail, it's a little weird and creepy. I just pull them. As seen on TV. I've not had any IPs for the Body Shop. So September asked, I think it's 8. I'm sorry, I think it's 10 that you have to get ungated. You don't. It could be 8, whatever. It'll tell you. Like when you go, always ask for approval because you'll get approved in so many things that you don't need an invoice for. But when it says you need an invoice, if you click on a distributor, it'll tell you how many you have to have. I'm pretty sure it's 10. My cats are out here running around. Oops, I just hit. Any other questions? Yeah, my cats are like always chasing each other. They were just now, but I don't think that you can. Hopefully, you can't hear them. Well, if you have any other last minute questions, feel free to pop them in. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. If you're in any of the groups, I know this week I have the Q4 group hangout, and I also have the beginner FBA course hangout this week. And then we have some other throughout the month. So if you need help getting started selling on Amazon, they have live hangouts in the beginner FBA course group. If you join the Bolo group and you're in there for 3 months and you like it, and you'll be invited, or you can remind us if you've been in for 3 months and you're like, hey, I didn't get the invite. We have the little secret group where you can join, and we have hangouts there. So yeah. Rob said, oh, I think I saw this and I'm sorry. Oh, well, first of all, thanks, Rob. That was very generous. What do you do with items exclusive stickers on them or printed on the package? I don't have them on me, but they're little black. It's called, if you go to yoursellingguide.com/supplies, it takes you to my Amazon supply page. I think it's called Royal Green or something is the brand of them, but they're like little black stickers, and they are permanent, so I just put them over, like, if you have those holiday seasonal items that have, like, literally 5 price stickers on them, I put them on all sides of them, and then you can cover it with the FN SKU label too if you want to. Like, some of my Halloween costumes have literally, like, 5 or 6 FN SKUs to cover all of those UPCs. It's the black stickers to cover the price. I've never had any complaints, like, there's never been any issue. In fact, I bought some stuff that has a price sticker stuck over it, like, you can even I don't know if you noticed this, the Walmart costumes have a sticker over with the new price over the last year's price. So they're really great, and I've been using them. I found out about them from someone in one of my past groups. So again, why you want to talk to other Amazon sellers. But yeah, that's what I use. And if you can get the exclusive sticker off, so like we took off some Target ones, some of the Walmart ones, they usually come off just the same as like a price sticker would. I use that. If you can't, you can put a black sticker over it also. If I had my links handy, I would just drop the link. Picture of the S. Okay, so Seller Amp, their app is like a weird app. I think it's in the process of being made, and you when you sign up for it, it like tells you, but it says SAS and it's got like a little phone. But you have to when you sign up for it, you get like a link to download the app. But then you have to download like an because I have an iPhone. I had to download an iPhone like Apple, like almost like a beta app tester. It was a whole situation. But yeah. Mike asked how my leg's feeling. It feels pretty good. I don't really notice it anymore, which is great because I know this is random, but they originally the doctor was like, you can go to surgery and we can put it back straight, or you can leave it because right now, so it's the what is it, the fibula? It's a smaller bone in my leg, so it goes like this. Like I literally on an X-ray have a triangle now there for life. But he was like, it might end up hurting you on the side. We don't know how it's going to heal, and it doesn't hurt at all. So I'm glad I didn't have surgery, and it's totally healed. Flats asked, thinking about having live hangout somewhere in person. Yes, I am planning on all goes well, like 3 or 4, possibly 5 next year. Be like every other month. I'll probably start either somewhere in Oklahoma or Dallas. But I'm planning to have one large hangout meetup. I'm not sure yet. I got to get with the girls and we're going to plan it out. But it's, and by the girls, I mean Becky and Jocelyn, but it's not just a girls only event, but it's probably going to be in August or September. And I'm thinking, because I can't figure out enough things to do here in Tulsa, that it will probably be in Houston because I like Houston better than Dallas. But anyways, it might be in Texas that first year, and then I plan to travel around and host them everywhere. I sorry, no offense, I don't like Florida, but I do like it because they have a lot of really great fun things to do as far as the conference go. Now, do I love to travel there? No, not really, but I will go because other people. It's got nice weather. Dawn asked, how do you sign up for the giveaway? Okay, so it's yoursellingguide.com/giveaway. I will drop it here in the video description as soon as this is over. And you just sign up. It takes you, it'll redirect from my website to a Google form where you just name, email, and how you found out about me. You can add any other comments or questions there if you have. So yoursellingguide.com/giveaway. Oh, if I could find my comment, I guess I could put it on there. It closes on the 27th at like midnight. So if you're watching this afterwards, I don't think people watch them afterwards, but if you are, there you go. Okay. Have you had a company buy their item from you? Not that I know of. Have I sourced in Maine? I can't totally remember. I wanna say that I didn't, because I was doing a bunch of touristy things there, but I also think that I did. I know I sourced in Connecticut because I know that's where the Ocean State job lot is, but if you have them in Maine, I think that might have been there also. I really love Maine. I wanna have a little house up there in summer. Do I have a TJX credit card? I do not have any store credit cards, but a lot of sellers do. The reason I don't is because the credit card I do have, I is a miles point or point miles, whatever credit card. And so I like to travel first class and for free. And so I use my points from my shopping trip to that. Oh, one other thing. Um, the Walmart Plus app, I just realized last week that it gives you money back, like you have to be signed up for the Plus, but just like, Target Circle. So I had no idea. So I apparently have I only signed up for it in September, and I've got $55 there that I guess I'm gonna be buying free groceries with. So all those kind of things you really wanna use to get extra perks. Like, last week from Target, I think I am up to, like, $70 cash from Target from the various like gift cards that you get from buying stuff. And they have circle offers. Like I got $20 circle one. Right now I'm working towards a $30 circle offer. So any of those free money, I mean, we're already buying stuff. You might as well take it. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Don't forget to enter the giveaway, and I will be back on Monday. I can't remember what Monday's video is. But yeah, if you guys have any video requests or anything like that, definitely feel free to comment them or email me. Um, and yeah, I will see you there. Thank you guys so much for taking the time. It means a lot to me. And thank you for helping me get to 50,000 subscribers. That is just crazy. So I appreciate you. And if any of my videos have helped you, it's just so happy. I am just happy to help other people achieve whatever they want out of their Amazon selling business. So thank you guys so much. And I will see you back here for another Amazon selling video.